Hey guys, welcome back to another comic Clone Force 99. This is our 8th episode.
Number 8.
And we're going to be doing, obviously, Dark Side. So this time we're going to do we'll see if it's shorter, but it's going to be Dooku and Grievous because there's only one of each that are in canon. So should be an interesting deal, you know.
Yeah, I was
We're not going to
surprised.
spend too long, but
I was surprised that you said you kind of looked him up, and this was the only thing like directly involving like Dooku and both Dooku and or Grievous.
yeah, because I really enjoy both of those characters, and you know, we get a lot of both of them in the Clone Wars. So I just would have loved to see more comics, but hey, you're not always going to get what you want, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, this one. So we'll start with Dooku. So without further ado, we'll just jump on in.
Let's do it.
So so we start here. It's Count Dooku, the Age of the Republic.
In the cost.
This was kind of an interesting thing. I've enjoyed that it's not always just the ticker, like the monologue, basically.
Yeah.
We've gotten different things with different series.
Yeah, the
like
scrawl.
different openers.
No Star Wars scrawl here. It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So right there, one of my very first notes is it says Count Dooku in the cost. And it says Count Dooku is one of the wisest and most revered Jedi in the galaxy. During his long years of service, he became disgusted by the rampant corruption poisoning the Republic and disillusioned with the archaic and dogmatic views of the Jedi. I thought I wrote this myself. But finally, Dooku left the Order to follow a new path in hope of saving the galaxy from itself. The path of Darth Sidious and the hated enemies of the Jedi, the evil Sith. I guess maybe this will be informational for me, but I don't remember there being talks on either side of Dooku being the wisest and most revered Jedi in the galaxy. I don't know what your take was. Like, I know he was high up with the Jedi, and like he was a great swordsman and stuff like that. But I don't remember him being like, oh, he's the best of the best. You know?
That's interesting because I fixated more on Dooku left the Order to follow a new path in the hope of saving the galaxy from itself. I spent some time pondering that statement. I was like, yeah, I guess, while watching Clone Wars, it seemed like Dooku was pretty full of himself and what he had to offer, It's almost like, did he not see it all coming together? But then again, maybe he always had different plans with Ventress and, like he kind of had his own agenda versus whatever the Emperor, was trying to do.
Yeah, I just think, because it says here, well, he turned into a great politician, obviously. A corrupted politician, but a great one nonetheless. So I would love to hear more a canon view of, like, so we knew he left the Order because he didn't agree with, obviously it says the disillusion and archaic and dogmatic views of the Jedi, which, I don't know, because I always think, he left the Order and then he joined a dark side, right? But really, it was like, I'm going to figure out my own way to help the galaxy.
Right.
And you do get that kind of surprising, like, Dooku, interesting. I didn't know you were working with the Trade Federation. I didn't know you were doing this, and so, I just thought that was kind of a cool opening. So
yeah, I agree.
So you start here on Solus, and he's here to do some negotiating for his ministry.
Some dealing.
I enjoy, and I know we've talked about this in other episodes, but I enjoyed the gray text boxes. I don't know what your thoughts were, but like obviously we've been going against colors and seeing, like what each one's means. Like gray to me is like a neutral, but also like I am 4 steps ahead of you. I don't know, just kind of maybe I'm way reading into that, but like I'm always like, because we've seen Kanan with the yellow and gray, so Vader completely red. We've seen some, with Gray here with Dooku. So I don't know what your thoughts were, but
that's a good take.
I thought that was cool.
I don't know. Like maybe there's something to this. Maybe there's more to it than I have realized. I somehow didn't even like notice it was narrating again. I think because like it's just one comic, and it didn't even dawn on me. It didn't even dawn on me that it was Gray, and I didn't ponder that. But I like your idea of it. Maybe there is something to it, and I'm just not privy to it.
Yeah. So he's narrating himself, and then. You skip a couple pages and you get into this. I was like, okay, this is the first of this.
Oh, you mean the ad? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like.
Yeah, this slide is in all of the Age of the Republic ones.
They slip it into every single one.
It's in all of the Age of the Republic ones. Absolutely. Yeah, it seems very throwback to me,
Yeah. I will not be affected by this propaganda.
Yeah. No, it's good.
So, he meets.
Look at that, from 1967. So look at that, like in the upper left-hand corner. There's something going on there. So yeah, it's very throwback. Representative Cap Clip from Sora Sub. Yeah.
Yeah, Sora Sub. These names, I'll be the death of me.
Cap Clip.
So he's like, okay, like we're gonna take you around, blah blah blah. He's like, he's talking to him, and then we get when we get to the next slide, it says later, and he's like, public spaces like this have become a favorite spot for tourists and business, and then I just love that Dooku, that little gray one right there. This grows intolerable.
Yeah, he's done.
I read it in the Dooku voice. I don't know how you did it, but I read
do too. And I can't. I've practiced his accent, and I've got nothing that can even remotely begin to touch it. But I hear it in my mind's ear. So thank you.
Yes. Yeah.
Very much so.
This grows intolerable.
This grows intolerable. I'm afraid my travels have tired me more than I've realized. If I might retire and rest before dinner.
I was just putting LOL in my notes here so many times in this comic. I was like, this is hilarious.
Yeah. The droll of Dooku.
Yeah. And then obviously we run into...
No, I love that. Of course, I should have realized.
I'm being too boring. So then you basically run into another Jedi, Jackson.
Jackson.
You think it's Jackson?
I'm gonna go with Jackson.
All right, we'll go with Jackson.
Jackson.
And he's basically like a tiger, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I don't remember. Like every now and then, the comics give you like some new species of, of humanoid, so to speak, and other than like big, huge looking hands, like this looks like a straight up normal tiger talking basic to me.
Right. Now, do you remember? I guess I don't remember why is Dooku called Count? Now, do you remember? I'm sure it's somewhere, but I just don't.
I don't know the title, so to speak. Yeah.
Defector, or like, because then he says, although it would, I guess it would be Count Dooku these days, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I don't think he'd know that unless he'd hear stories or something.
Yeah. I don't know of the reason why at this point. And I know we mentioned, earlier about, that there's not any other Grievous or, Dooku comics. that's that we're aware of, and we, try and stick to that canon list of, comics that are listed out on, the Wikipedia page or wherever, or the Wikipedia page, wherever we can kind of find that information. That's generally all we're going off of. So if we end up being found, incorrect on that, I'm always willing to concede to the knowledgeable comic people, which we are definitely not.
Yeah, we're newbies. That's where Comic Clone Force 99, the outcast.
That's right.
Yeah, I guess it's something to just look up because, I don't know. It just seems like that. Like, there's obviously we know there's Legends comics, but clearly there is like a gap of being right if they're like that's not canon. Because I think if they were canon, they'd throw them in there. So.
Yeah, I would agree.
But I enjoyed seeing Dooku's curved lightsaber and his blue lightsaber. I guess I didn't know what his original color was. Yeah. And then seeing him battle Yoda. Yeah. I think that was really cool. It just demonstrates, I'll never forget your dueling demonstrations with Matthew. Your skill with a lightsaber was simply inspirational.
And it really gave credence to like a lot of those battles between he and Ventress and the other witch sisters that came along with her when they battled him when he was like, drugged with that dart. Like he held them off, and he did a good job. So he always seemed very capable with that said lightsaber.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. So let's see. So then he invites him. Basically, he invites Jackson to the negotiation. Like, hey, we would love to have you for dinner. So there, then they're like, we don't know why the Jedi's here, and Sidious is like, they kind of keep their stuff close to the vest. And Dooku, always the recruiter, is there any chance he could become an ally to our cause? The Sith Master only needs one apprentice. Unless you're suggesting that he'd replace you. He's like, no.
Of course not, my master.
Of course not. And then some more jokes right here. I just love that. So they're sitting at dinner, and he says, forming a new order of Force users? Is that really what the rumors say? Of course, that's what they're doing. I just was dying, like.
Where was that?
It's just so funny. It's at the top. Oh yeah, you're way. It's at the very first.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, forming a new order of Force users. Is that really what the rumors say? That's right. Sorry.
No, that's not true. Except, me and Sidious are regaining the Sith. But, nothing's going on here.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. You never know. A new order of Force users. I wonder if that's a reference to the Inquisitors. Yeah.
That's a good call.
Yeah.
Although they were supposed to be secret, but, who knows?
Well, I mean, some secrets are and others aren't.
Right. So yeah, they're just talking, and he's trying to figure out, what's going on. So then they're asking, and then he kind of draws into his emotions. He says on page 12, he says, you're like, hey, you seem troubled. Why were you troubled? And like, oh, it's Jedi Council stuff. And then he says, forgive an old man. You'll forgive an old man's sentiment. He said earlier that you knew my apprentice, Master Qui-Gon Jinn. And of course, he was a great friend. Now, just real quick, I just wanted to address, I feel like I knew this, but it's so hard for me my brain sometimes to wrap around it, that Yoda was Dooku's master. Master.
That's
right?
what I thought.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Well, no, Yoda, Dooku, Qui-Gon. So I'm like, that is such an epic 3 names. Like, probably 3 of the 10 best Jedi ever. I don't know. Like Yoda, because I remember in episode, wasn't it 2 when Yoda and Dooku fought at that little base in the Attack of the Clones? And he was like, "Oh, my old apprentice."
Yeah.
But I just didn't realize. I guess I forgot that Qui-Gon was like the apprentice, his Padawan. I was like, "No way."
I feel like you're right. I feel cloudy. The knowledge is cloudy in my mind. Like maybe I have heard something about that. Maybe I haven't.
Yeah. And then this next slide here, you can hit next.
Yep.
Right there.
Yeah.
As he said, I heard the news of his death. I couldn't help but wonder, had I remained with the Order, would he still have died? So I need help with this timeline because I do think there's some lore into this because we know Dooku was in what, 2 and 3, not in 1.
He wasn't in 1. That was the whole, Dooku came out of nowhere type thing, and everyone was like, "Oh, it was really supposed to be." That's why the Darth Jar Jar thing had so much charge to it because, Count Dooku came out of nowhere in the second movie. Now, granted, I have to confess, I wasn't watching. And like those movies predated any of the Clone Wars stuff. I feel like later Count Dooku became somebody of value, obviously through the Clone Wars TV show, a lot more so than to almost solidify his character along with Jar Jar. I felt like, but Dooku got way more solidified because of Clone Wars.
Yeah. I totally agree with that. So that's where it's like he said, and then I put my note says, did Dooku have real remorse for Qui-Gon? Does it seem like it? He says, I'd heard the news of his death, couldn't help but wonder had I remained with the Order, would he still have died? And he kind of has that flashback to see, Maul kill him.
Yeah.
I don't know. I felt like that was maybe a little bit of remorse.
I could see that.
Because he says perhaps even the company of his Padawan wasn't enough to, but maybe his master would have been able to. I just thought that was kind of a cool note.
That's true. You're right. Definitely a little bit of remorse there.
Yeah. So then they're like, we're looking for this criminal syndicate. Let's find them basically. So they're jumping down there. And then on the page 16, he's just jumping around. I'm fine. I'm not that old. Blah blah blah. Let's just jump in there. They jump down, go in there. And there's a gun pointed around his head.
There's the gun.
And then right below that, so he's like, "Thank you. It's a good thing I came along." And then it just jumps to, "It's not your time to die, Jedi. Not yet." And I was like,
not yet.
I just he doesn't care about this guy at all.
Jack Zinn,
yeah. And then, obviously they jump in there. And then even this just the humor. And he's like, "Stay behind me." He's like, that does seem like the best course of action. You fight everyone. And then they're like, "No, weapons." And then Dooku's like, "We're surrounded for the moment." And then pulls out his red saber. But I don't believe this moment will last. And then that clip, it should be the very next one. That. I love Jack Zinn's face. Like, what? What color is it?
He's the most oblivious. He's the most oblivious Jedi ever. Dooku's bad. Dooku has a red. See, that's just it. Like, I know we know that, but
they didn't.
I don't think they all know it. So I think that's the point. Is like, oh look, he's a separate guy. He's his own thing. He's with the Separatists. He leads them. He's trying to make better the galaxy. He's only in it for his own family business interests in Serrano.
Maybe he's got some Force users. Maybe he's teaching them some different ways. You know, him and Qui-Gon were never part of the mass, or at least Qui-Gon was never on the council. Like, you know, maybe they're doing their own thing. Oh no, it's the worst we could have thought. He's now a Sith.
Yeah.
So, and then I love that he says that lightsaber. Where did you get that? I made it, of course. And then I was a little confused at this. I was like, what did he do? Did he stab him? Like, but then I saw at the bottom he had basically lifted a gun and shot it. And I thought that was like super cool. Like, I don't remember tons of Jedi being able to do, or whoever being able to do that.
Yeah.
Pretty.
Yeah. It's good, you're right, because it makes the pew sound, which we already know, of course, is the sound of laser fire. Pew, 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 pew. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you see him pick up literally 20 guns and be like, yeah. So, yeah, and then he basically says, all right, like, these people are going to, serve me. It may just be a few, gang of weapons dealers here, a group of pirates there, but we're building something here. But as unrest and chaos spread across already corrupt galaxy, it'll be that much easier for the Sith to grasp power. I thought that was kind of sweet. Kind of cool quote. Yeah, and then another, unless you had another point, I enjoyed the kind of the post credits scene, just all the information about right here.
Yeah.
So we don't have to go through it all, or any of it. But I just thought it was kind of cool. It kind of gives like here's who Dooku is. It says like he doesn't really look like a villain. I'm like, I would agree with that, at least in the movies, the prequels. But they did do a better job in Clone Wars to make it look more menacing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought it was cool, just talking about the voice and his lightsaber and stuff like that. So for our listeners out there, definitely go read that. It's kind of a cool thing if you want to learn more about Dooku.
Yeah, they're nice at all of the Age of Republic issues have that ending scene too that give you a little bit more of the info or like background info on, from the movies or whatever. We'll call it insider information that, you might not have known otherwise. So it's good.
Right. Yeah. So I definitely enjoyed that. So yeah, guys, and then we are gonna just do Grievous.
Let's do Grievous.
It's kind of another quick one. So that's cool.
Yeah, I was excited to see where this one goes, but I still feel like I've read some official stuff on his background, and there's so much more than what this comic even remotely touches on.
So much.
And I definitely have to get to the bottom of where apparently all that content is.
Yeah. And they do a decent job at the end. It does say a couple of Clone Wars episodes that you could go back and watch. I might do that tonight actually. But just talking about
nice.
him and some of his. Yeah. So we start here on Ledev.
Yeah, Ledev, yeah.
And this was much more quicker read. It was more action.
I read this in about 6 minutes and was like, wow, that was fast.
Yeah. So basically, you just kind of get to see Grievous. Just his quickness and speed. I think that's one thing that they didn't do a good job in Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, of showing how quick he was. I know they had that chase scene, but in the comics and in the Clone Wars, he is impossible to bring down.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just always a robot with some lightsabers and he's spinning them really fast and walking. He was like a tiger and a lion, like mixed. Well, I don't know. I think these do it justice.
And I was happy to see him kind of slay some Jedis. I'm not gonna lie, because like it kind of goes back to some of my earlier Vader comments. Like, you know, if Grievous has all these lightsabers, where do you get them all? You know?
Yeah.
Like he obviously killed some Jedis to get them, and so I was appreciative that this comic delivered.
Yeah. So basically, he slays a Jedi and a Padawan. Just easily. She looks like
the kind of Jedi that was it. They were twins that was in like Clone Wars, and it was one of the one of the clones killed one of the Jedi. There was sisters. Her hair looked like Medusa too, with like, you know, I don't know what their species is, but.
That's cool. Yeah, it's a good find. I hadn't remembered that. So it's a good pull. But, you know, she's blocking two sabers and then just stab her in the chest. And the Padawan stood no chance. Let's see if you last longer than your master.
It's my ship. I can make it.
No.
Too slow, Jedi. Too slow.
Stupid.
Let's see if you can last longer than your master. Yeah.
And then he just goes,
doubtful.
His body just crumples to the ground. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I like that they made Grievous right one of the next slides here, right there.
Yeah.
Kind of make him look like animal-like.
Yeah.
Like crawling up to him, you know. It's very, I don't know. I just
predatory.
Correct. And then he finds some plans to an old temple, looks like. So he kind of is like, I'm going to break into there.
The Jedi logo.
And even this, his boxes are green.
His boxes are green and shaky. And like, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
a robot's. Maybe that's what they were going for. These temple's walls are not enough to keep them safe. Like his voice, you know? I don't know. But tell me at the bottom of page 9.
Yep.
So he finds the temple, breaking in, right? So it should be the next one. Should slide over, I think. No, back a little bit. I don't know why it doesn't show it, but there's one to the... Oh, here we go. Down. Right there. Darth Maul. Tell me that's Darth Maul on the bottom right.
That does look like... I mean obviously...
I was like... First glance, I was like...
When have you ever heard any male from Dathomir become a Jedi?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was like, maybe it's someone from old times, but...
Nice. Good pull yourself, sir. Very nice.
I just saw that. I was like, oh, he's in a Sith temple. Oh, wait, no, he's not. No.
Wow.
And also, that one on the bottom left of the panel kind of looks like Obi-Wan.
I thought so, too.
So as I'm like, what is going on here, guys?
Maybe they just kind of got a little lazy on, like, you know, who looks like what.
Coming up with other new Jedi, you know?
Yeah.
I did right there. I kind of like that one because it shows that I have statues too. That's what he looked like. I do remember kind of either a statue or a picture of him in his lair in the Clone Wars. So that was cool. And then to see him kind of kill all those or chop all those up. You know, every trial he went through here, nothing for these like spikes and lava, and it's like, come on, no,
the floor is lava.
It's pathetic, weak. He's just slaying through.
Yeah, like the Indiana Jones going into the temple in you know, in the Last Crusade. Gotta survive the trials.
Yeah, yep. And then he sees this kind of fear in the water.
Like light, force power.
Well, yeah, he doesn't know, and he's like, "Oh, I can't feel it. It must be my sensors." And then, he basically goes all the way in there. I've slaughtered their kind for their own weapons. Oh, with their own weapons. And then he's in, like, kind of this weird space. Right there.
When
like,
he where goes into the force, so to speak.
Yeah.
Like the force power of the temple itself captures him and kind of, sounds like Yoda to me. Is the voice I'm getting. Destruction, yes. You are steeped in it.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
You have brought destruction upon yourself.
Now, okay. Now we think that's Grievous, like his real form.
I do, yeah. Yeah, that's...
I don't feel like I've seen like a great close-up image of him like that. I thought that was kind of interesting.
I agree. I Googled for some of his stuff, and that's where I think I saw it, like on the Wikipedia, and was like, where is all this content? Like, I don't know where it came from, but there's a ton of his backstory on there in like very long form, and it came from somewhere officially.
Yeah.
It's because the Wikipedia only, focuses on, maybe I was accidentally clicked on the Legends tab because there's canon tabs and there's Legends tabs. And maybe I accidentally clicked on the Legends tab. That's very possible.
Yeah. Yeah, so then
you seek to destroy a power you don't understand. You have carved away your own connection to it. I don't know. Then it sounds less like Yoda.
I didn't know Yoda was Indian.
I know. It sounded a little Indian there. Sorry. I was trying to seriously copy Yoda, and I went a little like South India there. Sorry.
I love that.
Didn't mean to do that.
So then, he says you don't understand your own strength. I like that very bottom tab, though. The next one of all, like the organs in the that one. He says, Or go ahead.
He's got nothing left of him. Like, these are the only bits and pieces of him that are truly left. Yeah.
Yes, and I love that. It's like heart, organs, eyes, and brain, and that's it. Like, I just thought that was kind of a cool imagery.
I liked it.
So
the Force really broke him down. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, it spits him out, and he's like, "I'll show you power," And he tries to the water, and they're like, "Yeah, so what are you doing, buddy?"
Nothing. Just nothing. Nothing.
And he goes,
nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
I'm gonna blow you all to smithereens.
As soon as I read that slide, do you have the coordinates? Yeah. Okay, we know what's gonna happen.
Like
now.
I've seen this in Clone Wars too many times that Grievous is like but then like
fire. Look at like
a facility that size doesn't require the magnitude of fire. You want to obey orders, not question.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Do you want to be scrapped? No.
That's good.
No.
He's literally firing on your command, General.
Roger.
Roger.
And then he blows it up, and he's like, "For all that talk, or for all that your talk of power, you burn just as easily." And I love right there. Yeah, he watches it for a full day.
He does. I saw that.
As he turns, boom! There's the light. I love that imagery at the very end.
It's good. Yeah.
So, like we said, guys, super quick read. Yeah. But another thing, here's another kind of infomercial at the end. It does give you the 2 episodes here. It says The Lair of Grievous, and then Shadow Warrior in Clone Wars. So if that's something you guys are interested in, or I think we might go watch that tonight. We'll see.
Yeah, that I feel like that has a lot more than I remember it having. So
yeah,
good call. I too am gonna go watch the Lair of Grievous in the first season, and as well as Shadow Warrior. Yeah, I'll go pull that, and then I'm gonna like totally go look that up in the Wikipedia and be like, what is all this? Because
yeah,
it's out there, and maybe that's where we got the understanding of the more so. We'll see. I feel like that image of Grievous maybe I have seen before, and maybe it's similar to that. So maybe they reused that imagery, like that guy's his persona of what he looked like, and they pulled that off the cartoon, I would assume. So
yeah. So
yeah, because this was made in what? When was this posted? 2019. Yeah, so this isn't even that old of a comic. So
yeah.
Well, really, none of the Star Wars comics are that old. So
yeah.
That Kanan
cool.
That Kanan one was one of the older ones from 2015 or 16. So
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's a wrap, guys. We'll obviously, if you've been watching or listening, we'll come with a light side, one soon. So we will pick that and go from there. So
yes, sir. May the Force be with you, young Padawan. Oh no, sorry, Master. Sorry. Master. Yes.
It's count to you.
Count. Oh, sorry. Let's count. Yes.
Count, nephew Mills.
This grows intolerable.
Sound like Grievous in here. Oh, George Lucas's sickness or his bronchitis. That's what they put into Grievous's character in Episode 3. Like, what the heck? I'm like, he got a cold. Yeah, guys, thanks for watching or listening. Have a great night. May the Force be with you.
See ya.